welcome. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, Brian.
Twitter and Twitch. Both.
And Twitch.
Are we on Meta?
I guess we are. Man.
I suppose so. What?
That's the way it goes now.
I'm still not clear what exactly Meta is.
That's the Facebook rebrand.
It's the rebrand.
They're Meta now.
There's not really anything new. It's just a new name.
No, but you know what? They did upset people with that name. They didn't like the connotation of what it was. You know, that the Meta, the data, you're gathering our data, you're taking our information. So they knew that's what was going on, but did not like the fact that they went out there. And I haven't read the full thing because apparently Zuckerberg is saying it's because of what they want to do is, I think the way he put it is socialize the metaverse.
Exactly. They want to go all 3D or VR. There we go. VR is basically it. They wanted everything to be VR.
Yeah. I saw a little video where they did like people are just sitting around a table interacting in VR. Pretty soon we're not going to have to leave the house at all. I mean,
I'm okay with that. I mean,
you don't have too much now.
People have I've heard people speculating at some point you'll like your normal life will be what you have to do, and what you really want to spend your time doing is your real life will be in your VR. It'll be your metaverse or whatever the hell it is.
I can deliver chicken wings to anybody.
Exactly.
That's right.
Well, theoretically, you could push a button, and in the real world, some poor guy that's not hooked into the metaverse would have to actually deliver it to the other guy.
No, they've got bots now.
Oh,
they're actually already using those. They just truck them right along. So, and
a chicken wing bot.
I'm sure you could, dude, man, think of this like a 2-foot-long chicken wing that you see where I'm going with this, right?
No, I don't, but I'm laughing at the concept of a
2-foot-long chicken wing drone robot.
Oh, okay.
And so there's like 4 wheels on it, and you open up like the meaty part of the wing, and that's where you put the real wings, and maybe a flag with a neon sign coming to you hot and fresh.
So
from
like
the nest.
take a page from Krispy Kreme donuts and like
do they have crispy trucks that look like that?
I think so.
But imagine your little robot chicken wing running around delivering your wings. That's so meta.
You know, it's a possibility, and what a great time to be alive.
It is.
With possibilities like that.
Yes. My wings are here. Tell me it wouldn't be great marketing to have a chicken wing driving around chicken wings. Or it'd get beat to death, depending on where you.
All right, is that
I
the
think
word
it would
of the
have
day?
to fly. Honestly, it'd have to fly, and it would still get shot down by people, probably.
I'm even more on board with a flying chicken wing.
Right? I mean, I'm expecting the Amazon drones to start delivering stuff. I've been looking out my window looking for drones for like a year plus.
We're going to get to a point where when you look up the sky, it's like a chicken wing flies over a burger, then a fish swims through the sky, pizza UFOs flying around there.
It'll be amazing.
Oh, and you won't have to actually go outside to see any of it.
But if you ever do, everything will be targeted. It'll scan your face and say, "Hey, Tim, what's going on? Have you bought the latest Old Spice for men?"
A chicken wing and a beer drone crash into each other.
The humanity.
So someone shoots down the blue cheese drone.
That's right.
To go with it.
To drizzle over top of it.
It's a horrible and delicious tragedy.
I'm intrigued by there being a blue cheese drone, but I guess if you got everything else flying around, you need that condiment. You never know when you might need it. It goes on everything.
Well, the wing drone has to be heated, Brian, and the blue cheese drone will have to be cooled. So
little Frank's Red Hot blowing up over top of it too. Yeah,
it's gonna be great. All right. Well, there we go. That's cheers, Calorock, Steven. Hopefully you're writing down these ideas.
Exactly, drones,
and then we can get on it. Christopher John, good dude. Bottle Share, what's up, man? What's up?
What's going on?
We have to get you back in here soon. Chat again, eat some chicken wings, drink some beers, man. Have a good time with it. Glacial Musher, cheers, man. Thanks to Twitch. From Twitch, thanks for joining us. We're about to get into some beer, baseball, chicken wing, lemon pepper, dark lager talk here. That's what's on. Toys for kids and holidays.
And helping the needy.
You're first. You'll be the first guest where we started acknowledging the holiday season is here. Although we did decorate last week, in case you missed that.
Oh yeah, that's
I can see that. It's very festive over there.
Over there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a nice touch.
Ugly Christmas sweaters on our classic.
Tim has engaged in the seasonal creep. He won't drink an Oktoberfest in August, but he will put ugly sweaters on a beer bottle.
Did you crochet those?
I bought them at Total Wine.
Oh, okay. All right.
Close enough.
He crocheted them with a few dollar bills.
I had a great opportunity to lie there, and I didn't even take it. Gosh.
You want me to ask you again?
Was that really a great opportunity?
I think it was.
Okay.
That's right. That's it. Yeah, Christopher. You know what's up, man.
We're always threatening you with a good time.
Glacial, our first Twitch follower.
Got the wow.
We're going to get it. So we made somebody angry already up there, according to the emojis.
Probably because they learned you didn't do your own
there we
crocheting.
go. We made somebody angry already. We'll have to deal with that. Oh well.
You know what it is?
happens.
It's the seasonal creep. You engaging in seasonal creepy activities.
Or jealousy.
Could be jealousy. You don't have
Yeah.
ugly sweaters for your beer bottles. That could
Right.
Be I'd be
Chicken
angry
wings,
about that.
pork rinds. Cool. Thanks for joining us. You got any more questions, comments? Please do feel free to drop them there. We're going to get into recording the show, and we'll be back to chat with you here in just a little bit.
Open up a tab, grab a seat, and pour a pint. It's time for the Beer Guys Radio Show.
You want free beer? Go to the brewery.
Dedicated to the art, science, and enjoyment of craft beer.
Yo, what's wrong with the beer we got?
Now, here are your hosts, Tim Dennis and Brian Hewitt.
And welcome to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We are broadcasting from the Beer Guys Radio Studios in Marietta, Georgia. And this week, we're going to be talking about the dark side of lagers. I am Tim Dennis, and with me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Brian Hewitt.
Hey, Tim. So joining us today, we have Adam Silverberg, the owner and chief patron of the Nest in Kennesaw. We're going to talk, like you said, about dark lagers. Is that title still accurate? I grabbed that from the last time you were here.
It's a fantastic title. Why would I change it?
Okay, then we're going. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm glad to be here, guys. Thanks for having me.
If it ain't broke, Adam,
Don't
is
fix
what
it,
they
yes.
say. Is what they
just
say.
like them
So,
wings. They weren't broke.
They weren't broke.
And they weren't fixed either.
They know. Okay.
I don't know what I meant by that.
Yeah, fair enough. Brian, we are in Atlanta, Georgia, or suburbs of Atlanta. We're owning Atlanta right now, even though Atlanta proper folks don't let us count. But we're a lot closer to the Braves Stadium than a lot of the Atlanta proper folks right now. Just a couple miles down the road, Braves Stadium, Truist Park. Atlanta Braves are World Series champions.
They are.
They did it. 95 was the last time that this happened. Man, the Braves were something in the mid-90s, though, weren't they?
Somebody said the name Steve Avery last night. I'd forgotten about that guy.
So, man, I was in, Glavin, Greg Maddox, Chipper Jones, John Smoltz, all those guys.
David Justice.
We've mentioned before, we've got Andrew Jones, all those guys. We've got, courtesy of our great friends at Terrapin, we have a Chipper Jones signed bat. He's got HOF 18 right there on the bat. That is our good luck charm. At home, I have a John Smoltz signed baseball. So we've got the legends there. We need to get Freddie Rosario. Get those guys to complete the collection. But it's cool to be here right now. The city's pumped. And you know what? In celebration, there's a lot of Atlanta themed beers that go around.
Yes.
So, and we're going to diverge from our dark lagers for just a minute, just to talk about Atlanta. We've got to be here. Atlanta influences everything by Second Self. This is a lemon pepper wet beer. And this was, if I remember correctly, was this done in conjunction with the Atlanta podcast? Is that right, Nate?
Yeah. Atlanta influences everything. I think it's what
Atlanta
the official
influences everything. So we had that lemon pepper wet, and courtesy of our guest Adam from the Nest in Kennesaw, Georgia, we had wings.
We did
to pair this with
smoked wings. Ones I always talk about whenever we mention the Nest. I always say, smoked wings.
It's the only way to do them.
That's right.
They're good, man. They're good. So if you don't know lemon pepper wet, that's the Atlanta signature sauce.
Exactly.
On your wings. You're not a Braves fan, are you, Adam?
I mean, I am. I'm a native to Atlanta, so I'm a fan of all Atlanta teams. So we're quiet because we like I was joking earlier, like I'm waiting for somebody to tell me it really didn't happen.
Yeah, I hear it. Like if they can go, Brian, you were saying if there was some way to go back and still lose,
after the fact,
could figure it
possibly,
out.
Yeah. It's still not outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
right? Just historically, I'm from the West Coast and I don't have a big history with the Braves other than they're here, and I'm here. And they were still something we very much talked about, saw and knew about over on the West Coast. They were kind of America's baseball team or the West Coast baseball team, especially when they were killing it in the 90s.
Thank you, Ted Turner.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
The one with TBS beaming them everywhere. If you didn't have your local team, it was the Braves.
That's how I knew anything about the tomahawk chop back in those days. I knew what it was all about. Otherwise, how would I have ever heard about that over on the West Coast?
And there's such a good story. I mean, Dansby Swanson from Marietta right here. I mean, watching him
right there, man.
Being part of the last play of the World Series, that was really cool.
You know what we really needed? So there's other Atlanta themed beers. We've got there's Los Bravos from Terrapin.
Correct.
That is a good one. Cutwater did a vodka mule. That's
Vodka
Atlanta
Mule.
Braves.
Atlanta themed, or
Yeah. That does,
Sure.
of course, that's Atlanta. But if you want to celebrate with us on the Atlanta Braves win and you're not in the Atlanta area, Sweetwater's out there.
Sure.
There's beers out there. You grab you a Sweetwater IPA or 420. That's Atlanta. A good old 420, man. That really says Atlanta. But are there any others you can think of, Adam, that specifically say Atlanta?
You nailed it with Sweetwater. I mean, Atlanta Brewing Company.
Right.
Yeah. ABC, Sweetwater, and obviously Terrapin with the Los Bravos is the ones I'm thinking about. So,
and Chipper did CJ10.
That's right.
Kolsch, and Jeff Francoeur did Frenchie's Blues.
That's correct.
And with blueberries from his farm.
Okay.
So, So a very cool story there.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Second Self also has ATL.
That's right. ATL, or is it
ALE? ATL.
Yeah.
So we've got some more out there. But anyhow, y'all, great week to be in the Atlanta area. Braves fan. Even if you're not in the Atlanta area, celebrate with the Braves. Grab a Georgia beer at Atlanta Beer.
I did see people that didn't have anything thematically correct celebrating with the Sierra Nevada Celebration Fresh Hop IPA, which just came out, and I also had one today.
You know what? Raise one for whatever reason.
Exactly.
And you know what? We want to give a shout out to our friends at What's on Tap Radio in Houston. They were nice enough to, accept our offer of a challenge. Winner gets a 6-pack of I don't want to say loser, of the opposing team's city's best beer. They've already messaged me to get our address to get that back. And, guys, I'll reach out and get your address. We're good sports and we like to share. So we'll get you some Atlanta beer too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
magnanimous like that.
We are, send them our chicken wing mobile.
Yes, slide over in the chicken wing mobile.
Sure enough. Well, y'all, let's dive into our dark lagers, and I want to share with you some of what we're going to be drinking. So these are our beers of the week, brought to you by The Nest, Kennesaw, Georgia. The greatest wings.
Yes.
The tastiest smoked wings.
That's right.
Got a good burger on the menu now.
Got a great burger.
So that's it. Wherever you are, come to Kennesaw, Georgia, get some of that. But dark lagers, Brian.
Yes.
Dark lagers. We have Aventinus Eisbock. That's from Germany. You're going to see a lot of these. Germany is big. Europe. A lot of these dark lagers. Aventinus Eisbock. We have Eyinger, a Celebrator Doppelbock. Duck Rabbit Schwarzbier. We have a Santa Claus Doppelbock. We've said before what big fans we are.
Definitely.
Of Santa Claus. So that's going to be good. Einstock Doppelbock. Einstock Icelandic Doppelbock.
Correct.
Going to get on that. Arches, little local. Arches Mystic Bock. And an Eyinger Alt Beerish Dunkel.
I'm going to say you pronounce that correctly because I have no idea.
I got as close as I could, Brian.
Because I looked at it.
See what's up.
And
we'll
I have
see
no
what we
idea.
can do. But yeah, so we got a lot of good beers to try and just diving into dark lagers, learning about those. A lot of people are scared off by, they'll say, I don't like lagers or I don't like dark beers.
Don't like dark beers.
And dark lagers just blow both of those opinions away.
Correct.
So it's going to be crazy. Brian, you got some craft beer news for us this week?
I do. So the thing that's been taking over all the news, it's like everywhere, is Sam Adams has gotten into the space beer game with a limited edition West Coast IPA called Spacecraft. What makes this beer spacey is the 66 pounds of Citra and Mosaic orbited hops, and that's a quote, orbited hops, that were used to make it. They spent nearly 3 days in orbit 300 miles above the Earth on SpaceX's Inspiration 4 civilian space mission. The beer is up for pre-order right now and is scheduled to drop a little later this month. The price for the 4-pack is $22.33, which is symbolic. It represents the 2 days, 33 hours, and 3 minutes the hops were in space. And I should also point out, this whole mission was for charity. So the Sam Adams actually donated $100,000, I believe, to St. Jude's for this. So yeah, it was kind of there was a story out earlier. The guy who started it off put out on social media that he was looking for a brewery partner to do something like this for charity, and it worked out for him. I got to see both ends of this. I'm not sure if we covered the front end of this on the news, but it did pay off. So he got the charitable hops in the beer made. So it's cool. As we were pre-gaming for the show this week, we had some ideas that could potentially take beer to space. That's right. And chicken wings too. That's right. Yeah. So it could be the whole thing. I think the Nest has got a good marketing idea there. No one sent chicken wings to space yet.
Wings are out of this world.
It really writes itself. It takes care of itself there. It takes care of itself.
All right. So something else I want to say, I mentioned Sierra Nevada Celebration Fresh Hop IPA. I just want to say happy 40th birthday to Sierra Nevada's Fresh Hop IPA
Wow.
celebration. A few days ago, they officially announced that this annual release was their 40th. And if you haven't seen it yet, you will see it everywhere. And I think by now everybody's seen it. I've seen people drinking it. The ABV 6.8%, IBU 65, and the hops are Cascade and Centennial. So keep an eye out for that. Enjoy it. It's here until I think the end of December, basically. So
there are not a lot of American craft beers that are 40 years old.
That's right.
Not a lot of them that can claim
not a lot
that.
of breweries are even 40 years old.
Exactly.
Yeah. 106-year-old Pennsylvania woman. The beer is the secret to living 100 years. Margaret DeLulo credits her longevity to drinking a beer every day, but not just any beer. It's got to be America's oldest beer. That's right. That means Yuengling is the key, or so she says. Apparently, the folks at Yuengling heard about this and they paid her a visit, including a member of the ownership of Yuengling. So one of the Yuengling folks there. And of course, they brought her a ton of beer. So she is probably good on beer until she's at least 110 is what I figure. So,
that's right. Which is the more polite way to say she's probably got her lifetime supply of beer.
But yes, it's a very good point. I didn't really think about that, but yes, what you said is in fact correct.
Yep.
So, you know what? I love it when my interests come together. According to Cigar Aficionado, Cigar City and Punch Cigars have collaborated on a beer-friendly cigar. It's called the Cigar City Brewing Maduro by Punch. And the cigar is a Honduran Puro, which means it will be made at the Hatsa factory in Honduras. For those that are unaware, Puro means all the tobacco comes from Honduras, one source of it. The cigars come in two sizes, Magnum at 5 1/4 by 54 and a Toro at the traditional 6 by 50. Good so it's out there. I've tried it. Not bad.
I was going to say, I thought you picked some of those up. I wasn't sure if you got a chance to try it yet or not. Very cool, man. Beer and cigars. Got to love it. You're listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We do need to take a break, but we'll be back to talk dark lagers with the Nest right after this.
We got some angry faces.
We do. I think just the one.
Oh,
we did make someone mad, so it happens. Sometimes just being there.
Thumbs up and love, and then
thumbs
anger.
and care and anger.
Anger and care. Yes, indeed. that's always good. You know what I might do? I might sneak around the corner. Does it seem warm in the studio to anybody else?
It is a little warm.
Yeah, I might adjust that. So
a little
you guys
adjustment. Okay.
can carry that along while I'm doing that.
We'll be here.
What's our next lager here? I mean, I'm through that.
I don't know. Are you done with that, man? I think we emptied that one too. Yeah. So, we got a lot of, no. Take a look at the ABVs and let's just go by ABV and we'll go from there and we'll see. We have worked on the Duck Rabbit Schwarzbier. What do you think of that one?
It's good. It's I love this trend that we're seeing about like lagers coming back.
They're cool again, man.
They're
cool again.
It tastes boozier than it is.
It's got a little sharpness to it that I know I've had Schwarzbiers that I felt were a little smoother than that, because really that's kind of and there may be some hop bite. Maybe they dropped little hops in there.
Might be. It's also cold outside right now. So this is perfect. The timing's great.
Yeah. Getting into that time, man. Good for the transitionary period. Thank you, sir.
I mean, it's Georgia, so cold is, it's like 60 degrees right now. Freezing.
Right. Just brutal. Yeah, and that's cold enough for me, man. We don't have to go any further. We do not have to go any further than that. I'll be good with it. Do. I got a stout here that I haven't even touched yet.
The one from here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Toasty marshmallow from our friends at Ironmonger, which
it's one of my favorites.
I did have one this weekend though.
Yeah.
So I do know it's tasty. And I'm going to enjoy it. I
can't drink a lot of it. It's very filling. And it's actually probably a little sweeter than most stouts that I go for.
Yeah.
But
that pastry.
Yeah, it's good though. It's good. And it's consistent. Every year it tastes exactly like I expect it to.
Yep. And you know what? That sharpness I was talking about there, I get it with the toasty marshmallow as well. And I had toasty marshmallow this weekend, and I know that is not in that beer. So there's something on my palate right now.
Perhaps it is the lemon pepper.
That's what I'm thinking. Lemon pepper beer, smoked chicken wings, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what could be affecting my palate right now.
Right.
A certain type of sharpness is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. We've been sitting here. What was this? We were working on the.
That was Duck Rabbit Schwarzbier.
Schwarzbier. Yeah.
And now we're going to get into this Einger.
I'm a fan of the Schwarzbier style.
Dunkels.
I am.
This little lighter, darker here.
You know, it just occurred to me that I think we had a smoked Dunkel in there, didn't we? One of our guests sent us a smoked Dunkel, Uncle Dunkel or something like that.
Do you guys like the
Uncle
smoked
Dunkel?
beers?
I do.
So let me tell you something, Adam. Let me tell you something. So we talked to what's the name of the brewery?
I'm trying to think of.
You know what? Some of their bottles may be right there in the fridge door. So
they got the swing. No, hang on.
I'm so awful with this.
They have swing top bottles. And I'm like,
do.
swing back? No, switchback.
Switchback.
I was close.
So they sent us a flight of smoked beers and a little chart that went with it and a little thing of like wood chips and a box of matches and all this, just this full. Yeah. And the guy that they had showed this is 10% smoky. This is 20%. This is 30%, 40%. And Switchback's big thing is they wanted to show smoke as an active flavor component in the beer rather than just smoked beer. And they turned me. They turned me from a smoked beer hater to
interesting.
And it does cross a threshold for me. But I think and you know, I've kind of always known that like a stout that has a little smokiness.
Are you a Scotch drinker?
That. Yeah.
So Smoky's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah. So,
and I like him I think I like him more peaty and smoky than he typically will in the Scotch. Definitely in the beer, but I think in the Scotch a lot of times, like I'll get in some of the Lefroigs and things like that and be all right with it. I'm thinking you're not as into those, Tim, right? In the Scotch domain?
I hate Lefroy.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
See, I'm cool with it. So,
but to me, it's like medicinal. But I really like Lagavulin, which is
it's balanced.
The
though.
big peaty.
It's not
tasty
as
peaty. Yeah, Lefroy really goes over to me. But I've had like Ardbeg Alligator, which is very heavy on the smoke, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like. Oh, yeah, the Ardbegs. I still need to bring in the one I assume is pronounced Koryavec, which is it would be like an amped up kind of Lagavulin 16. It's not as balanced, I don't think, but it's very good.
Still tasty.
Yeah.
Still tasty. All right. Shall we do this? Shall we dive back in?
Rock and roll.
Yep.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Next Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Now, back to the Beer Guys Radio Show.
Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. Remember, all episodes are available on demand, so if you missed the broadcast, get the podcast. Beer Guys Radio is available on all popular and unpopular podcasting apps. Now let's get back into some dark lager talk.
Dark lager talk. Adam Silverberg, The Nest. Hot chicken wings, cold beer.
That's right.
Right. As a purveyor of liquid deliciousness, how are dark lagers? How do dark lagers go over at the Nest?
I don't know if there's that many dark lagers on right now, short of the, like sort of like the Mexican ambers you see from time to time. But no, I mean, I was really excited to be a part of this show because it's kind of to me, it's an unexplored genre.
I think you may have had one on you don't realize. I think I saw Silent Night by Creature Comforts.
Yeah,
and that would be, I believe
was that
classified as a
Schwarzbier?
Schwarzbier.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that one.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the reasons I asked you, Adam, is I don't think there's a lot of love given to those styles.
I agree.
There. And, should there be more love for dark lagers on the taps and in your glass?
I mean, I think in general, we're starting to get back to these more traditional styles of beer. I mean, Ironmonger is a great example of that. I mean, they make great lagers, and people are starting to get back to, I don't need the crazy strawberry milkshake stuff anymore. Give me a nice original tasting dark.
But what
lager.
about a chocolate milkshake Doppelbock?
Do we have one?
Not yet. Not yet.
We might be able to mix one.
But that's kind of the loop there, the circle of life, isn't it?
Yeah, you go back to your first craft beer.
Right. But that being said, dark lagers, a lot of people may say, I don't like lagers, or they may say, I don't like dark beers. And I think dark lagers probably blow that out of the water for both sides a little bit. You just don't like the roasty taste at all, and it's not going to matter to you. But I think a lot of people that say I don't like dark beer, they're probably thinking bolder, boozier, stronger in that. But one thing with the dark lagers is they bring the darkness to it a little bit. They bring a little bit of the roasty, a little bit of the chocolate, some of the caramel, some of the toffee, but still are smooth, drinkable beers.
Exactly. And if you want to stick your toe in, there are very, very, you can get a little bit of the flavor of the darker malts in there, but it's almost identical to a lager, like the International Dark Lager style.
Right.
It's really brewed to be a lager with just a touch of some of the darker, just a little touch of the malt,
something,
and just like on top of the lager you already would just drink anyway. So very approachable. So there's a lot of open area there. It's just the darkness, I think, that intimidates a lot of people.
The darkness.
Just assume
scared of the dark.
That's
are
right.
you are you afraid of the dark?
Exactly. They assume it's higher alcohol. They assume it's big boozy. It's intense. Sure. It's roasty. Doesn't have to be.
Well, that's darker lagers we're going to see coming from Germany. Popular over there. We see a lot there. I think probably a Doppelbock, a Schwarzbier, Dunkels, are probably some that are definitely more popular in the U.S., more recognizable.
Sure.
There. But to lay a little foundation, are you ready to learn a little German?
I can't wait.
All right. You know what? Let's quiz show this, Adam. Are you ready?
No, but
I'm going to give you the German word, and you're going to tell me the English translation.
All right.
Dunkel or Dunkel?
Dark.
Big. Do we have a bell?
Yeah.
Do we have a bell
bing,
sound
bing,
here?
bing.
So what do we got? Heffa.
Wheat.
Nope. Now you're mixing it up with another one, but I think you know this probably.
I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me. Barley, maybe.
Yeast.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll be honest. I actually did not realize that myself.
Okay.
I knew the other part of it, but I didn't even really think about the first part.
All right.
So.
I'm gonna help you out here. Keep your train of thought. Weizen.
Those are the kind of jokes I make.
Weizen.
The Weizen jokes.
Weizen. So what's Weizen?
I don't know what Weizen is.
Wheat. See, I tried to help you out there. So
you know this. You knew this.
So
you just
think
didn't
of your
know
Heffa Weizen. What do you got there?
I see what you're saying.
You got your yeast wheat.
Yeast in your
wheat beer there. All right.
Fancy.
Schwartz.
Beer.
Black.
Okay.
Yes. What do we got? Weiss.
I'd say wheat, but you told me it was something else already.
Yes. Yep.
Rice.
No. White.
Okay.
White.
Okay. These are all German words.
And Bock.
This one's kind of harder.
It is.
You wouldn't
I don't
expect
think you guessed this one right off.
I don't know. Underwear.
Wow.
You know what? Yes. Actually.
Which is furry britches. No.
Double underwear, one of my favorite beer styles.
Right.
So, but to run down that again, Dunkel is dark. You've got Heffa, which is yeast. Schwartz, which is black. Weiss is white. Weizen is wheat. And Bock is a male goat, like Buck, Bock. And Brian, you got a little trivia for us there on how Bock got associated with beer, right?
It's weird. A male goat, you wouldn't expect it, has nothing really to do with beer. So Bocks were first brewed in the 14th century by German brewers in a town called Eisbock in Lower Saxony. The style was later adopted by Munich brewers in the 17th century. Due to the Bavarian accent, the citizens of Munich pronounced Einbock, like one billy goat or a goat.
One goat.
So that they made the way they pronounced it made it sound like a goats. And so that became kind of a visual thing. They would start putting goats on the thing because the way they sang it sounded like something else in German. So
we are really upping our holiday conversation right now.
That is right.
This is going to be great around the family table.
I totally had to Google that. That is not something I had any idea about. And I'm trusting Wikipedia to not have lied to me. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the Wikipedia.
I think it actually was quoted from Michael Jackson's research.
Okay,
so I'm guessing it's very reliable. So,
but it's easy if you learn these German words. You kind of know what beer you're getting. You know what you're getting there. You know, if you get a Hefeweizen, you know you're getting a yeasty, wheaty beer. If you get a Doppelbock, you know you're going to get two male goats.
Of course,
two male goats. Yeah,
so
exactly.
Very refreshing.
Better than one, and like a Dunkelweiss means dark wheat. So I mean, it's actually handy. Yeah. It's handy enough if you know that. So.
But we've got Brian. You've got the bottle there, so we've cracked into one that I think is on the lighter side of dark. But this is a Dunkel.
Yeah.
So you want to tell us about Dunkels?
All righty, let's look at some Dunkels. So we got a few Dunkels in here. We got the Munich Dunkel, which I believe is what we're talking about here. Hang on a second. Let me grab my notes with that. I have them set aside accidentally.
Too many notes.
Yeah, so they tend to focus more on like a bready richness in the flavor profile, you know, for its darker color and all that. It's like some people describe it as being like a bread dipped in dark toffee, just a touch of roasty background to dry out the flavor. It's lighter on the lighter end of the darker beer style. So when you look at it, it was more of a, like a light colored brown ale. Like if you took a brown ale and just watered it down a little bit, that's the color we're looking at here. A heavy use of Munich malt, it being a Munich Dunkel. So this doesn't say Munich Dunkel specifically, so may not, but it probably does typically use the Munich malt in there. And some examples aside from the one we have, Bierstadt Lagerhaus Dunkel is a very popular one. In fact, it's the #1 on tap for the style. And Treehouse makes one called Rover, which is also very highly rated on Untapped. So for what that's worth. So Treehouse makes a Dunkel. How about that, right?
I did not know.
Yeah.
They're all about them IPAs, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you think.
No, I dig this. I like this a lot. Adam, what do you think?
I think it's too cold. I know it's a weird thing to say.
Too
about
cold
beer,
for you?
I think
Okay.
it could stand to breathe a little bit more, but
Right.
your description was perfect. I mean, it's kind of malty. It does feel a little lighter, but
That
it's still a dark lager. There's not.
well,
I'm going to disagree with your assessment. How do you like them apples?
Man.
Uh-oh.
How do you like them
I
Dunkels?
thought we were
Controversy.
on goats.
That's right. Yes. No, but you know what? I do think this is lighter. I think it's, as far as a dark beer goes, if you're wanting a Pilsner or something like that, you want to go that light. But I think this one delivers a little bit of that malty, caramely character but still has drinkability.
very light in the to me in the body with delivering some of the darker flavors you get from a darker beer. The description that I found, it being like a darker bread dipped in a toffee, makes a lot of sense to me. A banana.
I get a little banana there. So there's a little of the Heffa, the little yeasty banana character that you get from from that kind of yeast. Caramel banana bread.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to say, but it's a beer that tastes like a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Beer
and it says
flavored
here it's
beer.
got the purity law 1516 is applied here. So it's like you're going to get that great traditional
You know what you're
beer
getting.
taste.
They're not adding a bunch of extra stuff, so you're not likely to find Skittles in this particular this beer. So that's
Yeah.
something to be aware of. It's not
That's good
probably going to be
stuff.
fruited heavily or even lightly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm a fan of what this is. I do like this. I think this is great. And I think it definitely speaks to this time of the year. But in summer, I wouldn't be afraid of drinking this. It's maybe a little rich for my summer drinking, perhaps, but fall, perfect time for it.
Early
Indeed.
fall, get in there
Yeah,
with the early fall
absolutely.
weather. If your guests come in, and let's say there's someone that says, I don't like lagers, but they're ordering, say, darker ales, what type of ale drinker would you say this would be a good substitution for?
Man, you're throwing some great questions at me. I mean, if he's a goat herder, it's one
boom.
way to go.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely. Bavarian goat herder for sure.
Dunkelbach.
That's right.
I mean, I know you said the ales and stuff, but I would recommend this to people who would normally drink stouts that were looking for something a little different, a little bit more traditional. I imagine on draft, this thing would really be elevated.
And, you see people that come in and they say, I just want a good non-adjunct stout, just a drinkable stout.
I just want a beer.
Move over there, right?
Yeah.
Get on
Exactly.
it. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, you are listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We have plenty more dark lager talk to come. We'll be back with the Nest right after this.
All right.
Help us
Male
remember to do the
goats.
promo because we didn't get to it up front.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot that. So.
Male goat.
Male goats.
Yeah.
2 male goats.
That's one of those great things. Is just when one word sounds like another and it becomes a thing. That's always fun. That seems like something that would have happened in old school Reddit if it had been around in the 17th
Yes.
century. They
Yeah.
would have definitely done that. Everybody would have been making memes about goats drinking beer.
So this is the
Goat
third or
memes,
fourth
goat
time,
memes.
third or fourth time I've been on with you guys. And
Somewhere there,
I think
yeah.
every time Skittles has come up.
Has it?
Yeah, see, yeah.
I think this.
Do you trigger his Skittles?
I think
response
so.
or
Is there something about
there?
me?
something suggestive. I don't.
Very colorful.
Did you ever bring in Skittles one time?
No, I don't think so.
I was just thinking about the first thing that kind of outrageous addition to a beer one of the more recent ones was the Tricks and the Skittles in the Smiggles from Pontoon. So that came to mind immediately. The Skittles was the first thing.
So this is a double male goat.
Yes, since he's got antlers and a Rudolph nose, I'm going to use that to segue into the holidays, which I think is going to be a perfect time to talk about.
You got it.
Your event.
Get your thing on. Yeah. All right.
Pork rinds.
So festive. Let me sneak over and get some of that festive multiple box.
You can really taste the goat.
Yes. And a heads up for you, Brian, after we talk about his event, I'm going to toss Eisbock to you for some Eisbock talking.
Okay.
Points.
Well, we do have an Eisbock coming up. Do you want to save it for having the ice?
The one you're pouring right
was
now?
Was that the Eisbock? No, that's a
no,
doppel.
That's a doppel.
That's a doppel.
Okay. I thought the Einstock was an Eisbock. Okay.
I am very much looking forward to the Eisbock because that is a much rarer of the box out there.
It is an Icelandic.
Icelandic doppelbock.
There is ice involved somewhere.
I do like the logo or
the horned Viking with the Rudolph.
It's very. I mean, the right time of year, you could be a Viking clown, perhaps. But
could be.
Yeah.
Right. Sell this at Ringling Brothers or something, right?
What was the beer festival?
Ringling Brothers is gone, aren't they? Like
I believe.
totally
I think they are completely gone. It's I'm not surprised by that. Survive in the modern era, and obviously it hasn't.
It did not. You're correct.
What was the Alabama Brew Fest where I think we all first had
Rocket City.
Rocket City. That's where I was introduced to it. It's like an Icelandic beer. Let me get some of that. Yeah.
Yep. That's the first time we tried Einstock was over there 5 years ago.
Yeah, about 5 years.
Yeah.
How far we have come.
Exactly.
Right. Now we're drinking it right here in our studio.
Exactly. That's right.
That's different. That's it's got some spice to something.
It does.
What am I getting?
There's something there.
Yeah.
There's a little something.
You know, I have this theory that beer guys are really kind of, I mean, not you guys specifically,
not
but beer drinkers.
Guys.
Although actually, I'll retract that for a moment.
Probably.
So you hear what I'm going to say
All
is
right.
that we're all kind of full of it. Like,
yeah. Sure.
Just a bit. Yes.
Like we would all fail a blind taste testing, right? We probably
know what? We've tried it. It's amazing. You ever watch Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah.
So they get on there and they're like, we're going to blindfold you and you're going to taste something. You got to guess what it is. And they give them something like corn. And they're like, gravy? Is that cherries?
Gravy.
Is that cherries?
I'm going to say salmon.
So it's amazing how much something common can just really throw you off there.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the big thing that they always tell you about when they're emphasizing how much smell has influence on your taste, they plug your nose and eat this thing blind and tell me what it is. And you're like, you have no idea. And it's just like something obvious, like a banana. And like once you have your nose open, chances are better that most people
textures will throw you off, flavors will throw you off, and all that. But it's
got some blueberries, some organic blueberries this week. You said texture; they're mealy, like some apples are mealy.
Some of that,
and it trips me up so much. I love blueberries. I have very real difficulty with that texture.
Too much work.
Put them in a smoothie.
It's wound up in some oatmeal and things like that, where it's kind of disguised by other things that are fibery and whatnot. But just disappointing.
If I get an apple that's mealy, I'm done with it.
I remember those as kids. It very stands out. Like I had that. Like this is something wrong with this. You know, it needs something.
Now, I know there's a lot of varieties of apples. I don't know if that is a characteristic of an apple or a flaw. Or something.
Poor execution of appling.
Poor execution of appling.
That's right.
I picked it wrong.
This apple sucks at being an apple.
You've done a bad job of growing into an apple.
Are we going to say how about them apples? Is that coming up right here?
Oh, wow.
Why do we have this guy back?
Dad jokes with Adam.
So, what was this about Weisenheimer or something like that?
Weisenheimer.
The Weisenheimer.
Oh man,
I think a Doppel Weisenheimer, please.
Doppel Weisenheimer, yeah. Sounds like one of those spoof videos that was out there about people ordering beers.
A dark beer.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage ale or something like that.
Yes. There's one out that the guy ends up getting like some soda and bourbon or something. They're like, try this double IPA with Icelandic goat's milk. We do have a brewery in the Atlanta area that has an IPA called Goat's Milk. I don't think it has any actual goat's milk.
Yeah,
but
don't think it does. Yeah, if that's the one I'm thinking about, the one guy drinks one out of a bird cage, and the other guy gets a glass that's actually just broken glass.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
spicy, just all hops.
Exactly. Hops
really
and
get the hops in this.
hops and broken glass. Yeah.
Hops and broken glass. I've had that.
What's the
beer.
German word for that?
Ouch. Ouch and mouth.
Ouch.
Ouch and mouth and
Yeah. Doppel.
That's good. Doppel. Yeah, you got to
doppel.
Yeah.
Ouch and mouth and
ouch and mouther.
Yes. Yeah, you come to ouch and mouth.
The extra syllable at the end is really what
That's it. Got to
that
throw
sells
it in there. Wow. I saw a video the other day where they were it was someone that spoke Mandarin teaching English. And I guess in Mandarin the like syllables on the end are enunciated. Like the word spend, they would say something like spinda or spindu or something like that. So he was using kind of phonics to teach how to say it in, English, more spoken English. Like in his language was casual, very casual. Like instead of saying, "How are you doing today?" He's like, "How you doing today?" And he just, you'd never guess that he wasn't. I guess that's a good way. Learn conversationally,
Yeah.
learn that.
makes sense. That's going to be what people best understand. Think of anybody who's had trouble with the language. If they go really formal with it, it just makes it harder for us to understand. I'm like,
Sure.
what are you saying?
my linguistic skills are related to menus. Like
Okay.
like number 11. Like that's
Number 11. That's it. Boom.
Number
Number 11. Could I get the number 11, but could I not have this on it? And could you add that?
Sorry, no substitutions, please.
yeah.
Order chicken wings and make so many substitutes. And they go back to the kitchen like, this is a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
That's a burger.
This is a cheeseburger. Man.
Hold the smoke, hold the
hold
chicken,
the
hold the
chicken.
bone, add
Let me
beef.
add a bun and a patty.
He wants just the bones. That's weird.
It's
Just all,
It's just like
you should put that on your bones.
all bones.
Wait for next Halloween. That'd be a good Halloween one there. All bones.
Just pressure wash chicken bones. Like, wow, you weren't kidding about all bones.
And then someone will order it. And did you watch the show Arrested Development? You know that one? You know when he takes the bird out in the bag out of the freezer?
That doesn't ring a bell.
So his brother is a magician. He kills the bird and he wants to take it back for a refund. So he writes on their dead dove, "Do not eat," and puts it in the freezer. And Michael pulls it out and looks in the bag and he goes, "I'm not sure what I expected." Just like, okay.
It really is.
Yeah. Like, all right. So someone orders the all bones
Yeah.
and they get that and they're like,
It's all right.
Okay.
They
That'll be
deliver.
$20.
$20.
Do you realize how much it takes to get the meat off of
Yeah,
those
the guys
bones?
in the kitchen are full.
Yeah.
He's out. $40, please.
We're paying people just to eat chicken wings so we can serve
That's
bones.
it.
Yeah.
That's
It's
it.
very complex.
He comes out to collect with sauce all over his face.
Fingerprints on the ticket.
Here you go. Thanks for stopping by the nest.
Satisfied?
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, Nate, let's get us rocking, man. Let's move on along.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
What in tarnation?
Now, back to the Beer Guys radio show.
Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. I want to give a quick shout out to one of our great radio affiliates, WRMN 1410 AM in Elgin, Illinois. Catch Beer Guys Radio on WRMN every Saturday at noon. Now let's get back to Dark Lagers.
Dark Lager talk. Brian, we have moved on to a little Icelandic Doppelbock from Eisbock. As you learned in your earlier language lesson, this is a double Bock, 2 male goats.
So wait, oh yeah, that would be 2. It's like
It is.
if there's I believe that there's actually an imperial version or a Doppelbock or
How
something
many
like
goats
that.
is that?
I think it might be 4 goats.
Is it like
it's either 3?
factored or added or multiplied?
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that is something that is out there. Oh, you know what? I might be getting that confused with a different style, but I believe that is true.
Interestingly, if Doppel is factored or added, the result is the same.
That's good
It
point.
is.
Ooh,
So-
math, crazy.
Math. Go
How does this
math.
work?
I don't know.
Nobody even
No one
knows.
No
Where
one
am
knows.
I? What's
Yes.
happening right
What
now?
is going on?
Math Guys Radio.
Adam, I'm looking at this can here and it makes me think of the holidays.
Sure.
Because the Viking on here has looks like reindeer antlers on his Viking helmet and a little Rudolph nose going on.
Right.
And I think this is a perfect segue for me to talk about your holiday event that you've got coming up.
We got a good one coming. It's
You
called
do.
Drink Local, Give Local. This
Yes.
is our 6th year. and it supports Must Ministries Toy Shop. And you know, everybody's reaching out for help in the holidays, but people just need some normalcy. And what Must Ministries does with their toy shop is that they collect toys and they allow these families who've fallen on some hard times to walk in there and shop for toys for their kids.
Cool.
And it helps them out. So we raise
and this
toys
is
like
at no
crazy.
cost to the parents.
That's
to
correct.
shop,
That's correct.
Yep.
That's correct. And I've met some of these families, and they are no different than you and I. They just had
Yep.
that one little thing went wrong, and they needed some help. And so we gather local breweries in the area, and we collect toys like crazy. You bring us toys, you get some raffle tickets, you get some great beer swag if you win. Coming up on December 10th, it's an all-day thing. You can bring us toys whenever you want to, though. Our goal this year is 1,250 toys.
That's a lot of toys.
Yeah, that's our goal, and we're hoping to do it. We've got about 10 breweries committed in the area. And, you know, there's other great toy drives in the country, of course, but this one's great for us because it's right here in North Georgia.
Cool.
And it supports people. It supports our neighbor. And that's really what I'm here to talk about today is helping our neighbors as we get closer to the holiday.
You know, man, that's really what it's all about. And the last couple years, it's been ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes.
I personally, I can speak from personal. I was from my day job, I was out of work for a year, and I've got 20 years of experience in my industry. I've held good positions. It's just been a really tough market out there, you know, and costs are going up. Things are tough out there. It can hit anybody. And the cool thing I like about the going and shopping, it's not like they just get some random toy wrapped up and thrown under the tree. They can go in and shop for their kids like anyone else would do.
Yeah, and that normalcy word gets thrown around a lot right now. But think about it, if you're going through a hard time, if you've lost your home, you've lost your job, and you got a 7-year-old or even a 15-year-old, whatever it may be, getting the chance to just hand them something and feeling that's normal, and that goes a long way.
So 7-year-old, you know what? If a 7-year-old does understand those kind of things, be a kid, get to be adulthood, and all that kind of stuff will come along. And you know what? If you're in the Atlanta area, go to the Nest, participate, bring them a toy, have something to eat. If you're one of our listeners outside the area, check, because I guarantee there's something similar right where you are. Serve your neighbor no matter where you're at. You can do this. Be a good event. We'll be there, man.
Yeah. You know, and that's the other part of it. It's turned into this great little Christmas party for the beer industry in North Georgia. A lot of people come out to it. So it's worth a Friday night adventure.
We'll bring toys.
There you go. Please do.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Well, back to our reindeer Doppelbock from Iceland, Brian. We talked a little bit about Doppelbock.
Yes.
Do you know anything on Einstock?
So you know what? I haven't really looked into them other than they are from Iceland, which is intriguing, and they do a lot of the darker lager styles. So I think that's kind of a typical thing from. I know a little bit about Doppelbocks. I have noticed anecdotally, Doppelbock seems, of all the dark lager styles, seems like it's probably the most popular here in the U.S.
I think
across the board.
You see a lot of those.
You know, even probably beating like your international dark lager or your Schwarzbier or whatever. I think Doppelbock is where people go because it's perfect for this time of year. It's a great warming, higher gravity kind of celebration thing. It's basically a strong version of the traditional Bock that was first brewed in Munich by Paulaner Friars, a Franciscan order. Legend has it was served as liquid bread for the friars during times of fasting. So the guy who did his Lent fast on drinking beer, there's a good chance that they would have been doing something like that with Doppelbock
there. All right.
Now that's a legend. It may have also been those guys were vegetarians, so this may have actually been a nutritional supplement because I think you get some vitamin B in here that you might not get through what they may have been eating back there in the traditional time. So I'm guessing their vitamin supplements weren't quite as good back then.
Drink up.
Yeah, exactly.
Drink up on all
I would have made a great monk.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could.
You know what? I think I might have too.
I'm a survivor.
Just hang out, think a lot, drink some beers, brew some beers. Yeah.
I'm fasting, but I'm still drinking.
I'm fasting. The air quotes. I'm fasting. Drinking these beers fast.
And the quick way you can find it is kind of a trivia about Doppelbocks. You could look around and you can have a really good idea that something is a Doppelbock, even if it isn't labeled, if it ends in the letters ATOR, which is kind of the historical, like traditional ending for all Doppelbocks. In fact, last I checked, or the last stats that were available on it, there were about 200 ATOR Doppelbock names registered in the German patent office. This is going back about 10 years, but that's a lot. So it's kind of the traditional thing. I don't know exactly where that came from. I wasn't able to track that down, but anything Ater, Celebrator,
Optimator,
Consecrator, all of those, Spot and Optimator, exactly. It's an exaggerator. There's one out there like that. So it's fun because you can throw that on the end of almost anything, and come up with a great beer name or a bad beer name. I've come up with a few in my head that I'm not going to repeat. Yeah,
that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know what you're thinking. And you shouldn't say that on the show.
I definitely am not going to say
that. Would be a good SNL skit, though. You go up and they just start rattling off everything that ends in "ator" there.
Yeah. So, like we said, Polliner Salivator, Eyinger Celebrator.
Wait,
Eggenberg.
Did you say Salivator?
He did.
Salvatore. I think it's instead of Salivators. See, exactly.
You're letting those bad ideas
exactly
slip out, Brian.
Salivator. I mean, wouldn't that be kind of a good name? It's so
No,
good. No, all right,
no.
never mind. So Bell's Consecrator, Abita Andy-Gator is actually a Doppelbock. I didn't realize that.
But I didn't know that. Okay,
I was surprised with that. That's an example of one you can get. Samet Claus and Eggenberg's Erbach 23 degrees. One of the only ones in the examples I found that didn't have the ATOR on the end of it. So if you're looking for them, those are a few examples of what you should look out for.
As we're talking about these beers, Brian, I think the one I know well is Schwarzbier. I enjoy that style. And definitely, like you said, the Doppelbocks. That's how about you, Adam? What's your on the dark lager front? What ones are tickling your fancy bone?
I'm trying to think what the Doppelbock was that was like really popular, like in the late 90s. It seems like there was one that was readily available.
Was it the Celebrator?
Well,
it might have been the Goatinator.
No, this because the Celebrator was a popular one, and it was popular because it comes with a little goat on the bottom.
Exactly. That probably is it
right there, man.
Now, Sam Adams
maybe
did, I believe Sam Adams, I don't know if they still do, but I believe they did a Doppelbock. And didn't Sam Adams do a triple bock? Wasn't that there was a really rare one? Yeah, with the cobalt blue glass.
And some went bad and tasted like soy sauce.
Exactly.
Very much.
Yes,
we shared one with our buddy Scott Hadeen.
Oh, that's right.
At Burnt Hickory Brewery, and they were corked. They were corked bottles.
Yes.
And when he touched the cork to take it out, it just immediately fell down into the bottle.
Yeah, I think I have.
And
one
it was like
somewhere.
it was like an ashtray filled with soy sauce, which that seems to be a theme on the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we had another beer that was just
nuclear penguin.
Yeah.
So,
but I think some of those Doppelbocks, whenever we're calling them at this exact moment, were probably some of the first craft beers that people ventured into because they looked different. Yeah. I mean, shoot, it tastes a whole lot different than some of the more mass-produced American beers.
Yeah, the Samet Claus and Bell's Consecrator were eye openers for me. That went from being something I didn't know anything about to being, I love this style. I look out for more of them. And at a certain point in time, that was the only ones we could find around here. The Eyinger, the was it Optimator? So that one as well.
Well, that's I think like you said, Adam, with getting into these German beers before the American craft beer scene had much legs to it. Belgian and German beers, that's where you went if you wanted something other than, the buds and all of that were out there.
So, it's fun looking at this after all these years of not really realizing that Bock meant the male goat and seeing the goats on there. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Now I get it in the little goat.
Or the goat that literally hangs on the side of the bottle.
Exactly. I'm like, I didn't know why. I just thought that was just that's like, it's just something those crazy Germans do. That's cool.
Yeah, if you can't see it on the radio, of course, but each bottle of the Eyinger comes with a little goat emblem, or not emblem. What am I thinking? Trinket?
Yeah, like a little
bobble.
It's a male goat. It's important to identify.
It is.
Yeah,
it's a Bock.
Because it's a Bock. Yeah. I assume, I don't know what is that supposed to be for a keychain, maybe, or it's a charm. I don't know.
It's like a Christmas tree ornament.
Right? Christmas tree ornament could be. Yeah, actually.
Getting into the season there. Maybe I'll put that on one of our bottles that's already wearing this little sweater. It'll be a necklace.
I do not want that as one of the gifts I'm collecting. I need like real gifts.
I mean,
well, those are valuable vintage beer bottles.
Right. The kids don't want those.
If you pulled the arms off of Barbie, those would fit on her perfectly.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Would be. So you know what? We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this with more great Christmas gifting ideas and more dark lagers with the Nest. Are we about to go into faux? That's what. All right. Let's.
Four? Yeah. Okay. I thought so.
I want to hear Brian's other ideas. The ones we couldn't.
Mute all the mics. So.
No. Well, no, for real. And this was a homebrew idea.
Yeah.
It's like it's not ideal. But anyway, my idea was
that's terrible.
Yeah. My homebrew idea was I wanted to mix lactose. I wanted a lactose milk stout.
Mount up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right. A lactose milk stout, basically prunes and coffee. And I think, was there more to it? I think that was it. I was going to call it the regulator.
Good
Well, it wouldn't
Lord.
be a stout. I guess it would be a doppelbock. So it'd be a milk doppelbock with prunes and coffee in it, called the regulator.
That could be awful.
Yeah, maybe a little bran or something like that.
Soy sauce.
What are you trying to do over there? Oh,
Nothing.
didn't work out, Tim. Whatever it
didn't. I'm
was.
sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, you know what? The regulator, I didn't really think about it, is being.
Damn good too, but you can't be any geek off the street.
I don't think I can play this. I think we'll end up getting booted.
I think, yeah, you might
Let's see how much I can get away with before.
Are you going to get put in meta jail?
Yeah, well,
Metagel.
basically, the stream will be
Metagel,
canceled, and
that's
suddenly
it.
we'll have a bunch of other people's advertisements playing over
booted.
that. Yeah,
For copyright violations.
Welcome back to Goat Guys Radio.
That's
Go,
it.
guys.
You know, sometimes YouTube's boots us for copyright violations, even though all the music we have, we own.
Oh,
And YouTube's algorithm, like anybody can come in and claim a copyright strike on you.
Mhm.
And if you don't dispute or anything, they take the strike above whatever your thoughts are on
the
that.
random person's word for it above, whether or not you do. And yeah, all of our bumper music is paid for.
Yep,
Yes.
it is. It is. We got them rights,
Exactly.
but we still have to deal with them strikes.
Indeed.
That is actually less offensive than what I thought you were going to say, bro.
I think he's
Oh,
holding
there's-
back.
There's
There's-
another one that
okay,
came
there's
to
more
mind,
in
but
there.
I went with the one that was actually a homebrew recipe that I wanted to. You know what? I don't think I originally thought of that as being a doppelbock. I think I was thinking about that as actually being a milk stout, but a milk doppel with prunes and coffee.
The prune is where you lose me. That's just like.
Well, no, the prune is where I get you going.
Oh, is that? Yeah. We're going to call it the see you later.
That's where the magic starts.
That's right. That's the regular part of regulator, or part of it.
We recommend a stiff glass every morning.
Wake up.
After the age of 50, at least 1 pint in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Oatmeal bock, call it the masticator.
The masticator.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
The
chop up.
masticator,
Just
chop
throw
it up.
chunks of
Yes.
corn in there or something like that. It's the
Uh-huh.
masticator. You got to chew on it.
Regulate. You could do this almost like a what is it? 50 ways to leave your lover.
That's
kind
right.
Of thing.
50 ways to gator.
Or,
50
yeah,
ways to aider.
50 ways to ate her.
50 ways to
That
ruin your
sounds a little
doppelbock.
dirty. That's close. That's close to being dirty. Yeah. Or not the name game. Or one more, and then I'll stop. The we didn't start the fire. You know, Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with this one.
Oh, all the
Optimator, regulator,
All right.
consecrator. We didn't start the fire.
or like, oh, the REM end of the world. It's the end of the world.
Well, that's what-
The end of the
yeah.
doppelbocks
It's
as
the
we
end of
know
the
it.
double boxes. We know them. See you later.
We feel
That's
fine.
the end.
These are all
That's
terrible
all
ideas.
that.
Yeah.
These are. I'm
gosh.
glad these are Tim's terrible
It's
ideas.
too bad you
usually
can't
mine.
delete a live stream like
That's right.
while it's live. So
We might. I mean, we got more angry faces. I think.
are we stacking them up over there? Gosh,
Well, I
man.
can't tell if they're likes or because they're all grouped together. Are they
Yeah.
angry? I mean,
There's just no
we
way to
kind of
know.
deserves the anger probably. at
Now
this
people are
point.
just going to mess with you and give you angry faces all the
Probably.
time.
You know what?
Bring
If
it.
people stop in just to give us angry faces, I'd be all right with that.
There's no such thing as bad
Drop-
publicity.
Exactly. Drop by and show us your
Well,
anger.
your hate doesn't scare me.
The publicity hater.
That may be from the guys in Houston at What's on Tap.
Yeah,
Could
they're
be.
They're like they're being nice. Oh man, congrats that, and then they're
coming in because they're
coming in,
angry.
just real passive aggressive anger, just a hate smiley on their thing, yeah.
Hate smiling.
Using the alt account and just going meh.
Is
when
that
we
what that's
post
called?
new
A
show.
hate smiley? I
It
hope
just
it's what
looks
it's
like
called.
angry. It's just I think it's just angry face over
Yeah.
there.
I'm going to start calling it a hate smiley.
The
I
hate
like
smiley.
that. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Brian, let's fine tune the rollout here. So we have not talked Schwarzbier, have we?
No, we haven't.
And Eisbock,
Eisbock, we definitely should.
Baltic
talk
Porter, and Weizenbach. You know what? We'll just kind of roll through here. So we've got about 4 more to go.
What are we
So
working on right now?
This is the
This is the
celebrator.
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 Oh, okay.
Celebrator.
Now,
You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yeah. I feel like there should be a laborator.
we have 3 left.
No, maybe afterwards.
Okay.
I-
Or if you want to grab one more, just so we
Well,
can
we got-
have one at the ready. here.
So 7, 5, 12.
He wanted to get the ice box. So
Yeah, let's
get
do the
ice
Eisbock,
out.
man.
Gracias. Brian,
And this is
Eisbock in your hand.
This is kind of this is the classic one. This is one of the ones I still see everywhere, and I still think, oh yeah, I should buy one of those and
I don't know
drink
what these are like. Real heavy on my tongue after drinking them for a while. Is that still the lemon pepper getting me? It's like
must be because these. I don't think any of these are very heavy.
no, it's not like a bad heavy. It's just like I feel like I'm consuming a lot.
Do you
of
need
sugar.
to lay down?
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, these are
You know what? Let me get you an order all bones, and you
Right.
just get you an order all bones.
you need the bone-unator.
The bone-unator.
Boninator. The Boninator, 20-piece all bones served on a piece of wet cardboard.
Right, right. The side of ranch.
An empty thing of ranch.
The side of ranch. Yes. No, just make it the dry packet of seasoning.
It's just the lid.
The dry packet of seasoning.
Yeah.
Lick the bone, dunk it in
That's
the
it, man.
seasoning, and
That's
suck on the
it.
bone. There
We're
you
not
go.
about food. We're about the experience.
That's
right.
it. Have them all arranged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've gone with a different concept. Instead of flavor, we're all about the look and the smell and the hearing. But no,
It's a
there's no
deconstructed chicken wing.
exactly.
Now smoke the raw bones so it has that, look to
or
it.
Barbecue, right?
Someone comes up and they see you open the smoker and it's just bones.
Now, are those overcooked? No.
No.
In the kitchen.
No.
Chef is nodding his head and turning
That's
them over.
Maybe basting them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. What the hell is going on here, man?
This is one way to deal with the supply chain problems. It
Yes.
really is,
Right, because we can just use the previously consumed
Sure.
wings.
Exactly.
Sure.
Or the previously consumed bones, to be honest. I mean, just swipe them off. You done with those bones? We got another customer.
I mean, smoking temperatures will have them sanitary again, right?
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
That's fine.
and
Double
preserved.
smoked all bones.
Right. Yeah.
Only at the Nest in Kennesaw, Georgia.
Yeah.
Comes with a free large water.
You are welcome for this publicity,
yeah,
man.
this man, my business.
Right. What happened? Here. You know what? For some real stuff, go get some of these.
Yeah.
Go get. You know what? So there's is it a spicy barbecue dry rub thing on here?
Sriracha.
It is sriracha because some of them it's just lightly
Yeah.
seasoned, but
yeah.
every now and then you catch a
You get one.
pocket.
Yeah. Those on the air get a real nice.
Yeah, those are. Yeah.
ASR. What's that called?
Oh,
Some
ASMR, yeah.
Radio here.
Yeah.
Start coughing, blowing dust while we're trying
Yes.
to talk in the air. That'd be
I'm
great.
gonna light
radio.
up a cigarette,
Yeah.
get a
Yeah, people
smoker's hack in there.
People are dodging while they're listening to you.
You're
It's
slurping, he's eating all bones.
yeah. Wow.
Is that a tooth? Whatever.
Yeah. Man,
Delicious.
maybe the dark
Yes.
lagers are working.
Yeah. This happened to me last time I had all bones.
Yeah, you like a meal with a battle scar. That's
Right.
That's
That's
what you
right.
want.
Yeah, if it doesn't hurt,
So
but
if
you really
need an
enjoy it.
ad,
I'm the poster child for the all bones
That's
special.
right. Yeah.
There's that 2-foot chicken wing again.
Yes. Yes.
This
Gosh.
I'm done.
We're killing it.
We got it.
Full
We got
circle
it.
is done. Yes. All right. Shall we talk some dark lagers and
All
then
right.
more insanity?
Ready?
Are we making more people mad?
I think
would
so.
be.
Yeah,
I would
it's
be.
it's increasing.
Yes. All right. Let's do this, man. Let's do this.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Your revolution is over, Mr. Lebowski. Condolences, the bomb's lost.
Now, back to the Beer Guys radio show.
Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. If you enjoy the show, please consider but
That's right. What
That's
he
cor-
said.
The Stumblinator.
Yes.
Restarting
Stumbleator.
that.
All right.
Yeah. 3, 2, 7, 42.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Your revolution is over, Mr. Lebowski. Condolences, the bomb's lost.
Now, back to the Beer Guys radio show.
Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. If you enjoy the show, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/beerguys. Patrons get cool perks like Beer Guys swag and commercial-free episodes. Now let's get back into the world of dark lagers.
Dark lagers. Brian, we've got a lot to cover here. As
we do.
Sometimes do. We get to rocking and rolling. So we do want to get a little info here. We're going to run down the list of some of these others. I think we may have mentioned some, but we have a Czech Dark Lager. We have Schwarzbiers, Brian, which is one of my favorites. I really enjoy those. Of course, the Doppelbocks that we've got into here. Eisbock is another one. Baltic Porters, which I think some people may not know that a Baltic Porter is a lager. Weizenbach that we dipped into a little earlier. Good stuff. There's a big world out there. Adam, the Nest, Kennesaw, Georgia. We're talking. You mentioned that these, even though these are lighter, they do have some sweetness. And you said that is feeling a little heavy to you because of the sweetness.
It feels like a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is true. I mean, the way these are, made, but I mean, they're filling.
And so that may be something that, when we're talking about the lighter side of, or the darker side of lagers, these are a little sweeter than what you're going to see in a Pilsner.
And it's not your
like
normal
that,
sweetness. Like it's just, it feels, it's got that sugary,
the malt,
kinda,
that malt.
It's a richness to it. Yeah. A definite richness. It's a step above. And that seems like I hadn't really thought about it, but that is a theme going through. One of the things I like about the Schwarzbiers is actually on the whole, it frequently is the least sweet. It's lighter. It's a little more roasty. And as a guy who really loves coffee, it's the one that seems like the immediate leap over from like a cold brew. Like it has some of that roast. It's got some of those coffee notes, some chocolate, nice and dry. That's a great style, honestly.
I like that.
That's a good point. None of these are actually calling out coffee, but they are very coffee-esque.
A lot of them mentioned in the flavor notes that you could have some dark toasty roastiness, but would say not approaching like a burnt.
Yes.
And I think
it should not be.
The coffee, I think coffee a lot of times has, maybe it crosses that line a little bit.
Sure.
That aspect, and not necessarily tasting burnt, but the little burnt characteristic there kind of goes in there. Does that make sense? As a coffee purveyor as well?
Right. Yeah. No, you get that. It's been cooked. Does that make sense?
There you go. Yeah. Maybe burnt. Maybe that.
Burnt sounds like a negative connotation.
It does sound negative.
It's just there's something to it where there's a different level of processing. It tastes older, maybe.
Yeah, the Schwartz.
You want me to keep spitting out descriptions?
Keep throwing them out.
The Schwartz
Estimator, celebrator.
Exactly. Regulator.
It's very wet.
Yes. This beverage is typically, based on what I've read, the Schwarzbier should have a restrained bitterness. So it shouldn't be super roasty, but that should be a character there. So it's a very easy drinking dark lager style. Yeah, without all the sweetness a lot of the other ones have. Very similar to the Czech Dark Lager.
Right. And that's one I think is going to get the closest to a lager or a Pilsner. Czech Dark Lager is definitely on that end of things.
I've read somebody say that they always thought of them as being a Czech Pilsner with dark malts, basically, because it will have more of like a hop aroma, a little more hop presence. Probably not super bitter, but it's going to be closer to that. Yeah, that's going to be something that'll lure in the people who like black IPAs.
We have a Czech Dark Lager in our fridge now that I think of it, because we do have a newer local brewery that does a Czech Dark Lager elsewhere. So we may have one in the fridge. No, Mike Nate, would you be so kind as to check for a check?
Check on the check. Yeah. It's
But Brian, I've got here in front of me an Eisbock, and you were pretty giddy about getting into this, right?
Yes, because this is kind of a fun style. You're familiar with the Eisbock. It's rarer here in the U.S. because the process to make it is technically considered distilling.
It's illegal.
Yes, I think that even to do it in a brewery, you might need, well, depending on the place, you might even need a distiller's license to do it, because it involves freezing a portion of the liquid, removing that, and leaving a more concentrated beer behind. So it can be a little port-like. It shouldn't be cloying. It's going to be definitely sweet. It's going to be very malt forward. Not going to have a lot in the way of carbonation typically, and it may be kind of boozy. It's a strong bock. It's typically made with freezing a Doppelbock. So it starts off its life as a Doppelbock, and then through the process of ice distilling, it is made considerably heavier, thicker the way it is. The legend, of course, the beer was discovered back in the 1800s when a barrel was accidentally left out to freeze overnight. And when the barrel ruptured, so they couldn't salvage it, they started taking it apart. When they were chipping into it, they discovered there was a reservoir of really dark, really intense liquid on the inside. They tried it and they loved it. It was delicious.
Nice.
This is the good stuff. And I read a mythological reenactment of it where it was some helper that just got lazy, he was tired, he forgot to do it. But the reality is it could have happened anytime, and just the accidental freezing was bound to happen eventually.
That's the helper's excuse. This could have happened to anyone.
Exactly.
This could have happened to
It
anybody.
wasn't me that did it. And I'm like,
Right.
it sounds like me making excuses for that guy, but I'm not quite that old.
But Brian, this is delicious. This is definitely the richest and probably the booziest. I haven't looked at ABV on this.
12.
but- Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's getting up there.
This has got some viscosity to it.
It
This
does.
is nice. It's very fruity.
If you like your big dark stouts or quads
I'd say
or
quad,
those
yeah.
kind of beers,
Kind of got that
you know,
raisiny.
dip into that Eisbock,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, did we say what it was? This is the was it Aventinus Eisbock? Is that what that is?
Yes, sir. And that's EIS Eisbock.
EIS
Yes.
Eisbock. Yeah. So ice, EIS would be ice. So
Eisbock.
it would be a frozen male goat, is what that means. So
That's
that's very
exactly it.
instructive.
That is exactly it.
It started
Yes.
off as 2 goats, but through the freezing process, it's down to
Down
one
to
frozen
yeah.
goat.
Very rich.
Very rich
thick
goat.
goat.
Very rich, thick goat.
Yes.
Yes, rich, thick goat. That would be a great beer name. Somebody,
Would it?
yeah,
Would
yes.
it?
Rich,
Okay.
thick goat. Yeah,
Brian,
definitely.
Czech Dark Lagers, Schwarzbiers. Dive in a little bit more. Tell us, what are we going to be looking for in a Schwarzbier?
All right, so Schwarzbiers. So they're one of the darkest of the lagers. They're in there, like I said, they're very similar to your Czech Dark or like a Baltic Porter. They're all very on the very darkest end of the spectrum. Schwarzbier obviously means black beer, so it's very
Right,
very dark.
Right.
Sometimes it is called Malta in some areas outside of Germany.
Now,
So-
isn't there a non-alcoholic beverage in like Latin American countries also called Malta?
I believe so. I believe there is a non-alcoholic. I think I've even seen it some
It's like
African
a malt
countries.
beverage, like
yeah.
a malt soda, kind of, right?
And I believe, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe they're all very thick and dark. So it's like a Schwarzbier,
Sweet, very
but it's a
sweet.
non-alcoholic Schwarzbier for,
Cool.
and it probably is a kind of a nutritional supplement in some cases because you've got there's a lot of calories in there. There's going to be a lot of B vitamins and antioxidants and whatnot that would be in there. So the oldest known black beer, Schwarzbier, is called Braunschweiger Moma. That's a Brunswick Mom. It was first documented in 1390 in Saxony. So it's typically lighter in body, like we said, drier than a Dunkel lager, very clearly drier than a Dunkel lager, but considerably darker in color. Frequently around 5% ABV, so it's not really strong. It's very drinkable. Like I said, it's similar to the Czech lager, less hop character. There shouldn't really be any hop character in this. It should not at all taste like a porter fermented with lager yeast. It's definitely a different thing. So
Okay.
your typical flavor notes would be kind of roasty, bready, like we've talked about. Coffee. You can find it like a Kronbacher Dark. Sam Adams makes a black lager. New Belgium's 1554 black lager is out there. That's a good one. I'm a fan of that. And Zingu, which I became aware of because it was on the most exotic named X beer on the tap list at not Buffalo Wild Wings, but
Okay.
Taco Mac. When they
Taco
used to
Mac,
have the
okay.
membership, you'd go through there. Anyway, Zingu Black, which I believe is a Brazilian Schwarzbier. So that's
Interesting.
actually a very fun one.
Now, as you're talking about Schwarzbier there, Brian, you mentioned Baltic Porter. And
Yes.
I think that's one that might fool a lot of people. You may not know you're sipping a lager on that one. So,
Yeah, you really wouldn't with that.
Do you
'cause that's
have
very
Baltic
uncharacter-
Porter, is that? I'm sorry, Brian. I said something that just walked all over you there.
No, I'm just saying you wouldn't realize it. It's
Right.
quite a different animal from the rest of these. But now I'm wondering. No, you know what? I'll let you continue with
You
what
let
you're
me go?
saying.
Okay.
Yeah, go
All right.
ahead. Go ahead.
Do you get Baltic Porters on there at the Nest? Is that one
we've
you
had
kind of
them
slide in
before?
there?
You got to remember, 85% of what we carry at the Nest on the board is made in Georgia.
Is local beers,
Yeah,
right?
so,
Okay.
so it's pretty rare that you see some of these other, these European beers and things like that. You occasionally in a bottle, you
If you
might
get-
find one.
If you get a little Aventinus Eisbock up there, give me a shout.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
If that's a special request, I'll see what I can do.
Get a keg of that. We'll come
Yeah.
drink the whole keg.
Right, ooh, yeah, I will try.
Yes,
try.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you can do is promise to try. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those Baltic porters. Well, you know why? Probably why they're so rare is that's a difficult style to brew, and you're kind of stepping into the stout territory. So if you're going to put in all that effort with the lagering, I could see people saying, "Well, we could go lager with this," and I love
Crossing the streams, getting
or we could
crazy.
just go stout and get something that's kind of similar taste wise,
But
and people
see,
might
I
not
think the
realize.
Baltic Porter, one benefit that's going to give you is you are still going to have the smoother,
Yes.
easy lager character there.
Correct.
So, and I do like that about Baltic Porters is you get all the richness of the malt, but it feels like it's delivered a little smoother onto my palate.
And you know who, kind of a trivia that I found out about the Baltic Porter, you know who makes some of the most highly rated versions of it?
I do not know that.
An Estonian brewer that we've talked to. Yeah, Pajala.
Okay.
I always forget how to say their name properly, but yes,
Pojala.
they've made a number of different Baltic porters, and I can believe that they'd be great because everything I've had from them was great.
We talked with their brewmaster at the festival here, the Shelton Fest here in Atlanta. Super nice guy. Told us to come see him in Estonia, and delicious beers, man.
Oh,
we've had that Baltic Porter. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'll go with you.
Stuff.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Go see what it's. And you know, I love exploring things like this and finding these kind of breweries because I would never thought of Estonia as a craft brew place.
No.
And this style sticks out to me a fair amount because I got a surprise. I discovered Duck Rabbit's Baltic Porter, and that blew my mind. In fact, I liked that so much when I had it. I actually hoarded that for a while back in the very early days of Brian drinking craft beer, you know, so at least in Georgia, you know,
right.
The Baltic Porter, I was like, you couldn't find styles of beer quite like that at that time. It had a certain depth and richness of it that a lot of locally made and locally available stouts just didn't quite have at that point. We did not have long boil stouts. So that was amazing.
The birth of the long boil stout. Good
indeed.
Stuff. Brian, is there anything else that you would like to share about dark lagers?
You know, I don't think so, other than people should go out and go explore, go find some, definitely get you an ice
drink
around
this
the world. Is amazing. It's a great beverage.
It is.
You got to try it out.
Good stuff. Adam Silverberg, The Nest, Gabriel's Apotheos, Kennesaw, Georgia, the trifecta of greatness there.
Something for everybody.
Got everything you need. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And of course, man, thank you for sponsoring the show. We really appreciate it.
Happy to be here, guys. Thank you.
Drink local, give local, coming up December 10th. Go check it out if you're in the area. If not, find something similar where you are.
Yes.
And give
Amen.
During the holidays. That about wraps it up for this episode of the Beer Guys Radio Show. Join us next week as we talk with Textile Brewing. For more craft beer info, please do follow us online. We are Beer Guys Radio on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. And don't forget to drink local. Cheers. Wow.
Did we get any more comments in that last section? All right.
Or what you guys?
Pseudo. With quite
pseudo Baltic Porter, huh?
All right. Yeah.
Okay. How did that do, Bill? If you're still there with us, I don't know how long ago we may have missed that comment, but
it's only a minute or two ago, so hopefully.
Nate, go there and check to post only to his social network. And nope, go down to your. There you go. See what you got to do.
Oh yeah.
Ask him.
Yeah, pseudo Baltic Porter. How did it turn out?
So
how did that work?
Are all porters lagers?
No.
No. Yeah. That's the outlier. That's of all of the porters that typically are ales, and Baltic is the one lager. You had me thrown off there for a second. I'm like, what is he asking?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't think they were.
No, not typically. Not typically.
You know what, Bill? We need to drink some of Bill's mead. And Bill's throwing a party soon. Bill, yes. I know Brian replied to you. I'm not able to attend either. We do appreciate it, but you know what? Bill, we'll reach out. We'll have you come join us, man.
Yeah,
if you would like to, because Bill has been killing mead competition.
Mead and cider, I think both. I think he does both.
Just slaying it. So
where's Bill located? Where is he?
He's Marietta, Kennesaw.
Yeah, Bill, we need to do a coffee mead with you, my friend.
Oh my God, yes, please do the coffee mead. All right, Bill, are you listening? You need to get on this.
So good stuff. Kvike, Baltic Porter with Kvike.
It did well, medaled in a Kvike competition. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah. All right. Heck yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, coffee mead. We got to get some coffee mead. We got to make this happen.
The one coffee mead that I've had,
I know I had a coffee mead that was from a meadery.
It was a fancy pants one.
I believe it was actually, yes, it was actually out of Africa, and it was a coffee, but it had a sharp sourness to it, which was unexpected. I was a little disappointed by that.
Didn't Viking Alchemist do one that was pretty tasty?
That's here, right?
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And, did. What's the one there? Shesmu. He's doing one.
Yep.
I was surprised by how I didn't care for that, but I like the concept of it. That particular
Bill's
execution
out of
was-
control. Look at
is
this.
he?
He's Viking everything up.
German Dunkels.
Quite German. All right, man. I'm game to try all this. I don't know
If a
Lutra.
Dunkel comes along,
You must
can
sip
Vike
it.
Sip it.
Sip
Sip it. Into
You,
shit.
you really
real
hit a
good.
lot of like hard to say words over there tonight.
Yes.
Yeah,
he
it was
did.
just rattling them off. I mean, you sounded like an educated
Well,
man.
thank you.
It's just
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
Nice work.
Nate's coming
I've been
there
prac-
for us. So
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
I practiced
That's it,
all yesterday on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it-
all these words.
Dunkel.
you know, and I didn't
Don't
realize
go,
until
don't
the end
go.
here why this was a difficult topic for me to speak intelligently about, and it's because nobody makes this stuff in Georgia.
No,
I mean, there's a
no,
handful.
And you do,
There's a
and
handful.
You're German focused.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And I was gonna say arches.
Well, hopefully
yeah.
we helped you to broaden your
Yeah,
horizons
well,
a
I
little
mean,
bit today, man.
absolutely, but I mean, that was the statement for us from the get go was like, we're going to support Georgia and we're going to
Yeah.
be Georgia, and we do, and this stuff isn't made in the states in general,
It's
right?
not.
But,
So I don't know about everything else, but Arches does that
We do have an
mystic
Arches,
box.
yeah.
well, they're
box,
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
There you go, right
there
there.
you go.
Yeah.
so they're around.
Arches that they got Southside Grind, which is a coffee Schwarzbier.
I think it's a
or-
coffee
Oh,
lager.
they've got a Schwarzbier. They've got 5-week sale.
Oh, I was gonna get
That
it.
is-
That's a gold. Black gold is their
Black
Schwarzbier,
gold.
and I
Yeah,
love
now
that.
that I think,
that's
you know,
fantastic.
I never thought of it, but old Arches is throwing some dark lagers.
They are.
out.
Yeah. I was gonna. I ran out of time. I was gonna swing by a place I think has it near me, and I did not get over there.
Yeah.
That's the thing I forgot. Yeah.
Interessante.
Great beer though. Great beer.
No, Bill Boyer. I don't think that's true. I think that's fake news.
Yeah, it sounds fake.
Yeah, it's fake news. Bill Boyer, never heard of it.
He recycled
Never heard of
metals,
it.
is what it
No.
was.
Say do what? But so, Adam, what was your favorite that we tippled today?
I really love the Celebrator. I think that
Okay.
might have been my favorite one. I enjoyed the Eisbock just because it was probably the most unique
Yeah.
one we had tonight. But I did like the Celebrator. Perhaps it was the dancing goats on the front.
It could well be.
I mean, perception is reality, right?
That Eisbock lived up to expectation. I was looking forward to trying again, and I love that.
Well,
think
see,
that's
I don't like
glorious.
quads. I'm not a Belgian guy in general. Right.
Yeah. What are you even doing here?
I mean, I'm Danish, so I don't know what that says about me, but
Yeah, that's I'm all sorts of confused.
Rock
Yeah.
me, I'm a Danish.
am I right? Yeah, yeah.
I'm a Danish.
I'm a Danish. I'm a
Bite me,
Danish.
I'm a Danish. Bite me, I'm a Danish.
See how many
So
people
we're good.
listening get that reference. What are the old guys talking about?
Old beer.
Old
apparently.
beer. I really dug the Eyinger Alt Barisch Dunkel. I dug that one a lot. And that Eisbock. Oh, man, that's money.
That's fantastic. Did we have one of these was a Schwartz? Didn't we have a Schwartz beer? One of
Yes, and I didn't much care. That was the Duck Rabbit. And I got
I thought that was
a little sharpness to it, but that could have been me resetting the palate there.
I like that. That's the Eisbock is one I would definitely enjoy a snifter of, but I could knock back
We're
the
getting
Schwartz
trash
beers.
talk on the
Oh, no.
comments thread here, man. Good times.
But he is, kick his butt.
Got to
But he's
kick
a
him
great
around.
brewer. Yeah.
No one deserves it more than Bill.
Get your viewership up just by encouraging arguments.
That's
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
Come fight. If the fight gets good enough, we'll put you on camera.
What
Right,
we
yeah.
need to do is start going out into social media and say, "Hey, did you hear what Bill Boyer said about you
Ooh.
on our live stream? You better check it out."
That's
He
it.
says he's ready to fight you on
Yeah.
the next one.
And if we don't, we will just make it up.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
we could lie to both parties. Like, did you hear
Sure.
what,
Oh, yeah.
what William said about you? You know?
absolutely. He said he'll settle it with you in our chat, in our live stream
On our
chat
live
next
stream.
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday at
7
7.
p.m. Good stuff.
It's going. So.
Oh, there
Yeah,
we go.
there- yeah, we're getting there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
He's going
lamentation
to
of your
laminate
women.
his women.
The lamination
He's
of his
gonna
women.
laminate his women. Take that.
I mean, that does make it easier to carry them around, right? Laminated. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
all right.
makes
Plus,
them
they're more
waterproof.
waterproof.
Yeah.
Waterproof. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Last long- they
If you
don't
need to
discolor.
store them in the freezer, they'll last
That's what-
longer.
This would
You
be
can write on them.
this is a
and just
dated
like-
reference, but it'd be great for putting them in your binders full of women, right? Anybody remember
The
that? reference?
binder. Does anyone still use binders, or is it all electronical now?
That's all
Your
electronic.
trapper keeper.
You know, the binder. I think the binders of women was an old Mitt Romney thing back in the.
Wow.
Presidential
have
campaign
taken a
thing?
binders of,
turn.
wait, hold on. Binders of women is like that
It was
whole
some sort of
phrase is
a thing. Yeah, it was a thing. It was
We
like a
probably should
weird
change the topic now.
political hotspot.
What's your
thing.
favorite Dorito?
Now this is going back.
Oh, it's you know what? I recently discovered spicy chili.
The sweet chili.
Sweet chili.
That's good,
That's
yeah.
the one. That's the one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Save this from like that's dated political stuff. Is anybody still angry about that anymore? I just
Doritos,
realized-
I'm not mad about
You know, we
Doritos.
just got to stay purple in what we do, my friend.
That's a good point.
Stay
Yeah.
purple.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair
As
enough.
I was driving down I-75 today, coming to the studio, there was a dually lifted truck that said something about stop the BS. The back windows of trucks where they'll put like the whole back window is a screen kind of thing. It was just Trump. Stop the BS 2024. This dually truck had red rims on the front, blue rims on the back, and was towing a massive boat with an American flag, red, white, and blue. You couldn't have been more whatever that person was.
Right. So
that's
I was
very fully whatever that
he's
is.
committing to that thing.
So I was behind a painter, like a van full of painters, house painters, a couple of months ago. On the back of their van, it had their name of the company, and then it said licensed and bondaged.
Bondage and bondage.
Yeah. They're painting my house right now.
Oh, it's like I can't wait to get back. I've got to change before I do, though.
You guys go paint the basement. I'm going to turn the lights off.
Yeah. So is there every time he was slow to respond because he had to zip open his mouth every time.
I can hear the cons. Now,
wow.
This says license and bondage. He's like, don't tell me how to live my life.
You have to have a license for that now?
Right. Gosh.
Man.
What's next?
It's got out of control, man.
I won't stand for this.
No, you won't. You'll be tied down.
All the bondage.
Yeah, that's right.
Ridiculous.
Insane.
Good stuff. Guys, we would like to welcome you to come back and continue your fight next week.
Please
We've already decided we're probably going to start fights with people.
And bring them
during
over
the
here.
week.
Yeah, exactly.
And bring them over to fight on our chat. So
it's Fight Club / Beer Guys.
Fight Club. Yeah, come to Fight Club. But
that's right. We're not supposed to talk about it.
Oh, yes. But we're going to sign off here online. Thanks for joining us, hanging out, chatting with us, folks. Bill, drop us a line.
Yeah.
Do you know Bill?
There's a pretty good chance
I think, you know what? Was Bill at the beer dinner we were at?
I believe he was. Yeah.
Big dude, big beard, big
I should have
curly
mentioned
mustache.
that tonight.
No. You're thinking of
No,
John was there.
Little John.
Little John.
Little
Yeah,
John's at everything we do.
Yeah.
He's
cool. Anyhow, we'll figure it out.
We're picking the menu for the Reformation beer dinner tomorrow.
Ooh,
okay. All right. That last one was awesome.
It was good. Yeah. Very good. Good. Y'all, thanks for joining us. We will see you next week.